My name is Kirsty Dignam and I am here for a reading on the energies this week. And this is the third time I've done this video. The first time I was guided to remove my scarf. For those that see regular videos, I often wear a scarf to almost hide my goiter and to close off that area of vulnerability there. And today the very clear message was to bare your chest, not literally, but to open your heart and allow that unique voice that we all have to come through, to be heard. The second attempts were to do with sound, and I had placed my headphones around the back so that they weren't visual anymore and the sound didn't work, and placing them at the front, it was all you could see. And going into this, it was very much linked into background noise and our relationship with background noise. In an ideal world, we could shut off everything we didn't like, everything we didn't want to hear. However, the moment we become in right relations with what is going on, we can find our place and our voice and open up to the vulnerabilities that may come from that in order to truly learn. So with that in mind, with my Leo hair, I'm going to look at the energies this week, and I have brought down 3 sprays, and those sprays are, I'll put a link in the comment, are Mother Mary, Archangel Uriel, which is to do with our light and our service, and Archangel Jophiel, beauty and wisdom. The ability to see the beauty way in the path that we walk comes from being present, and it comes from walking the path and obtaining the medicine, shedding what isn't relevant and moving forward. And that takes looking at everything from all angles, not blocking off the background noise, but seeing how we relate to it and what it's actually bringing up for us to notice. So the more observant we become of the background noise, rather than trying to block it out, the more observant we can become of the lessons and the teachings that is occurring around and within us. A point of reference. Yes, it is a point of reference, but for example, today, getting the sprays down, the books that I was drawn to was Love is in the Earth, which is a crystal book. It was an astrology book that I was drawn to, and there was another book. I keep looking at Tarot in 78 Days, which is a personal insight into something I'm thinking of doing. But there was another book that had drawn my eye. Mindfulness, of course, mindfulness. Now, it is about trusting what our vision is drawn to this week. So with that in mind, the tarot I'm going to use are called the Vision Quest. Can't get my words out this morning. I've bared all, and all of a sudden it's just blocked everything off. So let's just go into that. Into that full moon energy that is actually rising this week, the Leo in us all. Connecting to our own divinity and speaking our truth from the heart. That is the quest, that is the ultimate vision. So with that in mind, looking at the energies this week, I'm going to use the Vision Quest Tarot. Just breathing into that. Even my necklace is pointing down towards my heart and the energy that is coming down at the moment into this incredible portal that we have. My beautiful, I was going to say son-in-law, but no, my beautiful brother-in-law the other day, intrigued, asked me what I believed in. What religion did I believe in? And with this year being the Hierophant, dogmas, religion, authority, teaching, things like that are going to rise for us to look at what we believe in. And I love them all. Emphasis being on love. The way that I work, I tune into the energies around me and within me. So for me, religion is more about tuning into the underlying current that is going on, the one that I resonate with, which feels quite important, because all teachings have many energies in, and it is about relating to the one that speaks to you. So for me, the underlying current in the religions is that of love. When I connect to a guide or to an energy, it comes from my own heart. Immediately, it's like a gateway. And this portal, this opportunity, this door can only be there if we bear all, if we are open from an unconditional love, from an unconditional space, past judgment, from our heart, our divine self. I've noticed in our group a lot rising at the moment about the threefold flame. And there are many healing modalities linked to the threefold flame. There are many insights and teachings linked to the threefold flame. And it is very much about finding what is relevant for you. For me personally, the threefold flame is our divine self, our divine light, our connection to source, whether you want to say that's God, Great Spirit, tarot cards, whatever it is that gets you through the night, basically, that gets you through the day, that helps you to connect to a space that brings you peace and love and hope. And that feels really relevant for this week. Finding a practice, a soul practice, that helps you to navigate the energies. Once we have that practice in place, our vision becomes clearer and more relevant to ourselves. So with that in mind, I'm going to spray Archangel Jophiel, beauty and wisdom. True wisdom comes from the applying of what we know. What we know comes from the wisdom of walking our path, and it's a continual circle, and that's the beauty of it. So we can know something yesterday and learn from it and move forward today. And even though it doesn't feel like that at the moment in this year, it is there. The other day I walked my dog and I could feel a spark being ignited within me and underneath me, and obviously with Imbolc around the corner, that is what's occurring. There is great growth occurring, but it is under the ground at the moment, and the ground surface is very hard to protect what is growing. So it's keeping that balance of being open to change and protecting yourself with what you need right now in order to conceive those changes and hold space. So with that in mind, let's look at the energies for this week. Let's shuffle the cards. I want to work with Mary this week. I really want to work with the mother archetype this week. And we are all divine mothers. Regardless of gender, we hold within us the ability to create life, our own life, and subsequently the life of those affected on our path. So really looking this week into the world that we are creating. When it comes to manifestation, quite often we believe that we need to create for ourselves and then others will be okay, and then that will have a ripple effect. And this does have some truth to it. Shamanically, when it comes to creating, we think of the wider web. Just want to get the cosmos spray. We think of the wider web. We think of the world that we are looking at creating, the world that we are stewards for, guardians for, this being the ultimate gestation. And then we bring it back to the village and to our family and to ourselves. So this week in particular, see the bigger picture. See where you are in the bigger picture that you're trying to manifest, and then bring it back to the self. What steps can you put in place to create the world that many of us have held in our heart for a long, long time? So with that in mind, the energies for this week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Overall. And what I'm hearing in my mind, I was going to do a medicine wheel reading for this week, and I'm hearing in my mind, why didn't you do the wheel? Why didn't you do the wheel? So we will look at that and see if it needs to rise further on in the reading. So for today, like I was saying, there's growth. There is growth there, and very much like Imbolc, is still under the ground at the moment, but it is there. And you can see the potential of what this growth will actually be, with those huge trees behind it. Okay, so using the bigger picture today to look at your own growth and to remember what it is you are aiming towards. Lean towards the sun. That's what I hear. Like any plant would do, turn towards the light of your own growth now. Okay, because there's many roots here. Much has been set into place. And these pods here almost remind me of the earth, but they almost remind me of cell division as well, which occurs with growth. Now, for a cell, there are two types of division, mitosis and meiosis. Now, mitosis I always remember because it sounds like toe, and this is your bog standard growth. This is where a cell will continue to replicate what it is in order to keep the cells and the skin and the muscles and everything else growing. And meiosis is when you take genetic material from one part and genetic material from another part. So for conception of a new life, meiosis is needed, and it's a different type of reproduction. It's a different type of conception. It's a different type of division and union, okay, based on two parts. So what I'm hearing today for the Monday, other than the science lesson, is what are you creating? Is it new? Is it new? Is it mitosis? Is it based on everything you've created before? Old patterns, old genetics? Or is it meiosis? Has it taken material from the past, compost almost, material from the past and material from the future? And is it now creating something new? Look at the growth that is occurring, okay? Still in infancy, still in infancy. So what do we need to grow? We need light, we need nutrients, we need water, we need the elements, really looking at the elements in our own physical body and around us this week. Okay, I hear the background noise, being aware of the background noise and what is actually occurring. I wanted to keep my eyes shut then. I just wanted to keep my eyes shut and going into that space of peace. And that feels really relevant for this week when it feels like nothing is shifting. Going into that space of peace, really connecting to Pachamama, really connecting to the earth heart here and feeling the growth that is actually occurring underneath. So on the Tuesday, we have the Lovers, and here it feels very much about choices and change. Right next to it, I'm guided to look at the possibility Wednesday of endurance, the Seven of Wands. So cliche as it sounds, being the change that we're looking for. If you want something different, create something different. Bear all now. Open your heart to the potential of there being something different. The choice lies down to us in how we see things, because in the Lovers, everything is a reflection. Everything is a reflection. Yeah, our masculine actions, our feminine intuition, it's all a reflection. So that background noise, really being aware. One, your relation to it. And two, what it's trying to show you, what it's trying to bring up, what triggers are there, and experiencing them so that they can then move forward. I'm drawn to the two frogs here, and frogs are animals that can walk on earth and go into the water. They are easily adaptable, and that feels very prominent for Tuesday, to be easily adaptable, for choices to be there. I've just got an insight into how it could affect my own circumstances. Yeah, choices are there, okay, and being able to experience your own emotions in a grounded way. Yeah, frogs are amphibians. They can go from earth to water. Okay. I want to say hold on. Hold on, Tuesday. That's what I'm really feeling. Hold on. And now I'm hearing the song, I think it's by Wilson Phillips, If You Hold On for One More Day, Things Will Go Your Way, for the Tuesday. So when it comes to making choices, feeling really ready to make those choices, not acting from the old energies, the knee-jerk reactions, because that could very much lead into Wednesday's Seven of Wands or endurance. or ultimately flipping it on its head, knowing that you have walked this path, you have gone through this, you have survived this, and actually, yeah, it's enduring, but that endurance has given you almost physical training or spiritual training. What's the difference? Yes, what's the difference between spiritual training and physical training? The only difference is how we apply it to life, and that's where the endurance comes in. What you've learned now, applying it to life. Okay, so we can see it from the individual and it being hard work and almost being burnt out. But look at the great central sun behind that, rising. Yeah, endurance. We rise from endurance. We rise from adversity, just like the great central sun. So remembering that. I can hear the song Nothing But Blue Skies, Nothing But Blue Skies. On the Thursday, 10 of Pentacles, wealth. Sharing what you have, sharing what you have discovered, sharing what you know. Be that with yourself and your own healing, which is very, very important. There's an awful lot of healers doing an awful lot of work for an awful lot of people, but not their self. Okay, so seeing that bigger picture, knowing that abundance is universal, but also bringing it back to the self as well. Okay, on the Thursday. I'm drawn to look back to the Three of Earth on the Wednesday, and it's almost like something is coming on the Monday, something is coming on the Monday that can initiate some great growth. Tuesday, deciding how we want to play this. Wednesday, knowing that if things are going to be difficult, we've got this because we've done it before, but also listening to our own needs to avoid being shut off again, to avoid being defensive, to avoid burning ourselves out. On the Thursday, with that balance, which is the overall card that we have for the week, on the Thursday with that balance, great potential of wealth. And that can be wealth that you've discovered or wealth that you will discover again by the same cellular reproduction. Okay, so no lesson is ever wasted. No lesson is ever wasted. And if we can get that idea out of our head, we can see everything for the wealth that it is. The endurance comes when we just think, oh, haven't I discovered this yet? Haven't I learned this yet? Everything is a spiral. So it may feel like we're going round and round, but as we go round and round, we did an incredible meditation in our group this week before some neurographica, which I'll put a link to. And the meditation that was held by a dear friend in the group, Lara Brooke, we were on a merry-go-round, and as we went on a merry-go-round, we grabbed the things that actually we wanted. Okay, so it may feel like you're going round and round. Take that opportunity to just look at what it is you are bringing down each time. Okay. On the Friday, Father of Water, I see Jesus here. I see the fisherman. I see there being enough for all. I see the phrase, feed a fisherman and he'll eat for a day, teach him how to fish and he'll be sustainable for life. Okay, so sometimes things may feel difficult, like there's an easier way around, and we want that easier route, but sometimes it's the learning that actually takes us much, much further. The flow. So Thursday is the full moon into Friday, so you have that wealth and the Father of Water. Thursday's full moon is linked to Leo and infinity. Okay, so what you give out, you're going to get back. Share that wealth forward. Share that wealth forward and receive that wealth also, which comes from having this bare, open heart. Yeah, this open portal here of love that is possible. Now, when I say love, it's because we know the energy as love. It is energy. It is energy. We are hollowing ourselves out for this energy to flow. And what I want to do is get up. I want to get up. Get up. Get up. But it's the water spray. So when you feel as if that energy may be blocked, rise up, get up, stand up, speak up, be open. Okay, when we hold things back, and we're all vulnerable, we all have our beliefs and our judgments, but when we hold them back, they're almost like boulders in the water. Yeah, almost like boulders in the water that can stop that stream from flowing. Take a breath. Let yourself off the hook. Okay? Let yourself off the hook. Put yourself back in the stream of consciousness without that judgment and just let it flow. Just let it flow. Be aware of your environment and make sure you're in right relations with it when it comes to creativity, because on the Saturday, daughter of water. I love this picture because I love how the creative flow here is coming from the womb space, regardless of gender, from the womb space. So cellular division, mitosis, happens everywhere in the body. Reproduction, creating a new life, male and female, comes from the womb space, okay, from the sacral. So really, really connecting to that energy there and ensuring that it's flowing well on the Saturday. On the Sunday, we go from endurance with a 7 of fire to 9 of fire, inner strength. So in the normal, in the Rider-Waite Tarot, 9 of Wands is actually to the point of burnout and then some. But in this tarot, in the Vision Quest, it's all how we look at things. It's all how we view the journey, the quest. In this tarot, it's inner strength. Okay, make or break, that's what I hear. Make or break on the Sunday. Looking at what it is we are repeating. Looking at how much wealth do we need? How much wealth do we need? Whether that's physical wealth or intellectual wealth or spiritual wealth. How much do we need before we feel we will be ready? Okay, so I know a lot of healers that will help others and then not remember to let go of the energy at the end of the evening. Let it go, give it back to the earth. I know people that are doing quite well, thankfully, during the COVID situation. Keeping that flow going, passing it forward. I know people that have great skills that don't quite feel ready. How much more do you need before you start to share that wealth out? Yeah, whether it's spiritual energy, emotions, intellect, money, whatever energy, even love, especially love. Yes, especially love. When we hold on to it, it comes from a place of lack or fear. That's understandable. We've all got our journeys. We've all gone through things that have almost proven that actually I need to make sure I've got enough of this and I need to make sure I've got enough of that. But what that does is knock us out of balance on all levels. Okay, so flowing it forward now, starting to really push that forward so that you can get the inner strength that only comes from balance. Especially with this full moon in Leo, what you give out, you get back. Love, money, skills, all of it. It's time to start really taking collective collaboration up a notch with each other, with the earth, with the background noise. Okay. Overall, in this deck, balance is number 8. In the Rider-Waite deck, number 8 is Leo. In this deck, actually, balance is justice. Okay, justice. So connecting to that divine knowing within you, that divine connection to the goddess, the earth, source, whatever you want to call it. Once you do that, you get that balance. You know that your needs are always met, whatever they may be. And then we can start to help others rediscover that within them. And when they do that, they pass it forward. And that is ultimately how our needs are always met. Seeing the bigger picture of what you're trying to manifest, bringing it back stage by stage by stage. Okay, go big, go big. All right, see manifestation for the glory that it actually is rather than the individual aspect here. Again, Leo full moon, again, what you give out, you get back. having peace with that, as well, okay? Because, you know, we can all say, I want to give, I want to love, and we all have stories that we carry. We all have stories that we carry. And those stories are there for a reason. That endurance is there for a reason. It strengthens the spiritual core. Okay, so it's going to be different for everybody because everyone's at different stages, and there's no forward or behind or right or wrong, because there's a beautiful universal balance. Everyone is where they need to be. Okay, so remembering that, carrying what you need, and just letting the rest of it flow so that others can feed from that too. I feel it's really important to look up the dragonfly totem here and to remind you of the original books: mindfulness, astrology, love is in the earth. So being very mindful of the astrology that's going on right now, the Leo, the lion. What is the lion share to you? I was saying to my husband the other day, there would be no point me being completely healthy and the rest of my family not being. There would be no point me having all the money that I need and the rest of my loved ones not, or the rest of the world not, because who would I share that with? Yeah, so the lion's share comes from the pride of a lion's family and environment, not the individual. Lions do not travel alone. They travel in a pack, and they know how important that is. So I want to look up dragonfly. There's 3 of them, and it feels relevant, linked into this today, Monday, the 3 of growth. I just landed on a page that said prayer sticks. Prayer sticks, yes, absolutely. Getting those prayers out there for all, for the good of all. Now I'm on dove. Are you actually going to give me dragonfly? I don't think it's in here. How interesting. Eagles. Let's just have a look at the back. Have a look at the back. Dragonfly, yes, 330. I thought so. I thought it would be in here. This is an incredible reference point. Now, obviously, with any references, it comes down to what that animal means to you. Okay, for me, the dragonfly is very much the insect that will take us from one world to another. Very much the totem that I see when a loved one has passed, or when the veils are very thin. To take that energy, the dragon energy, and make it so light, giving it wings, that real deep earthy connection that is also light. That's possible. That's possible. I have often bridged the gap between shamanic energy and angelic energy, and they go together beautifully. We are the bridge of that, just like source and earth, spirit and physical. We are that bridge. We are that balance. I don't think it's going to let me have dragonfly. Okay, right. No, I'm not going to start looking up frogs and dragonfly. Very ancient, with estimates of having been over 118 million years old. For many, it's difficult to tell the difference between a dragonfly and a damselfly, and that feels quite relevant. The difference between a damsel in distress and dragon energy, the difference between endurance, more endurance, or strengthening. It's all in the vision. Because both are known for their fast flight and their dazzling aerial feats. Dragonflies and damselflies inhabit 2 realms, water and air. So we have water and air, and then we have water and earth from the 2 frogs. So again, that adaptability with our mind, our emotions, and what we're doing with them in our actions on this earth. There must be expressions of the emotional and the mental together. fresh air regarding emotional feelings, new perspectives, and making a change based on those new perspectives. Just as light can bend and shift and be adapted in a variety of ways, so can the archetypal forces associated with the dragonfly. It is one of the most adaptable of insects. It's that adaptability again. Ironically, their main predators are frogs. So let's go deeper with this. The mental emotion can often be threatened by the physical emotion. Okay, and vice versa. That's what I really hear there. So finding an aspect between the two, and that is the spirit. That is what we create with it. We can sit and think about all these things that we want to change, or we can get up and start making those small changes. The dragonfly and damselfly reflect and work with sun and light. The light changes throughout the day. The dragonfly and damselfly undergo their own transformations with this change of light. And I'm going to leave it there because, you know, we can look at light and from the good perspective, but all energy is light. Okay, just different densities. And sometimes there's a time to act, sometimes there's a time to be. And when we are being, we are transforming as much as we are when we are acting. And it's that balance of light within us, really getting in contact with our own spirit, the element that was actually missing, our own creative flow, feeling in to when we are ready. Okay, and that is different for everybody, and particularly this week with the Leo full moon. You're going to get some people that are raring to go, roaring to go, and some people that are happy to lay around in the sun. Do what is right for you, what you feel, what light you're working with, and trust that. Trust that. That's the light that you have at present to work with. So one last card, yes, the Magician, the Medicine Man. Utilizing all the elements within you now. Now I can see why they said, why didn't I do the wheel? Because the wheel very much works with the elements, and we will do that. I know we're 32 minutes, but we will do that. The Medicine Man, look at your own elements. Where's your head at? What has that brought to awareness? How are you feeling emotionally? Is it a good time to act? Where's your head at? What has that brought to awareness? How are you feeling emotionally? Is it a good time to act? Okay, really, really utilizing that. So is it this week? Let's have a quick look. And I do mean quick, because it does feel like it's a good time to do the wheel. Yes, and it feels like it's a good time to talk about what I'm actually offering. In the group, there's an awful lot going on this week. We have Wednesday's womb space, which is a space where we will create with our emotions. Thursday, we are connecting to Spirit Horse and the animalistic instinct within us. And Friday, with the lap over of the full moon. I can see a lion drinking from water now. Yes, I can see a lion drinking from water and his reflection in the full moon and in the water. So Friday, we are creating an amulet, a crystal. Of course, love is in the earth, a crystal amulet that we can focus our intentions into based from our higher perspective, our higher reflection for this full moon. So, generalized medicine wheel for this week. There's actually quite a bit of torment at the center of this week because we have the Devil card. Okay, but the Devil card speaks of chains that we have imprisoned ourselves in, and a chance to really look at that now. It's in the position of the soul. So really connecting to the soul, really connecting to your own divine intuition and your own divine emotions and thoughts and actions this week. Often we can repeat the same thing over and over and over, and that, although it teaches us to connect to our higher self, can almost inhibit the birth of our higher self. So knowing when enough is enough, because in the unknown, 7 of Cups, excess. Okay, so knowing the path that you've already walked, not trying to drink from these cups that you've already done, because one, they're cracked wide open. They've shown you the light. They've shown you where you're leaking. Now move forward with these cups that you can drink from. In the unknown, we do often emotionally get very caught up. It's in the space of the air of our intellect. Get very caught up in trying to figure things out. This week in particular, there are things that you can figure out, things that aren't ready yet. Much like in bulk, they're growing beneath the surface. Let them be. Let them grow. Because in the space of the East Eagle, the things that are coming to awareness, the Ace of Cups. It's okay to have all these wonderful seeds planted and all these visions. But when we realize how important it is for us to step into what we're trying to achieve, that Ace of Cups, things become much easier. So place the seeds, let them grow, and then look at what you need to do in order to be the vessel for those seeds this week in particular. What do you need in order to flow with your own divinity? In the South, in the space of healing, in the present, we have 20, which is the spirit guide. Okay, really looking at our own judgments here in relation to our higher self and who we think we are, who we thought we once were, and releasing those judgments now, moving forward from them. Okay. Today in the group, we're doing a divine shedding, and it is about letting go of the collective stories that we may feel apply to us also, and doing our part for the collective by releasing those judgments so that we can bring in the new stories. If we continue to create from a place we've always been, we will continue to create the same. Mitosis, meiosis. Yeah, are you creating the same environment? And if that works for you, fantastic. Keep going. Do what works for you. Do you want to create something different than taking in that other energy now, that other genetic information from your higher self, from source, from the Homo luminous that you are destined to become, the evolved human? In the West, in the space of the physical, we have the Death card, transformation. Walking through that new portal now, very much I feel this week related to the heart, much opening of the heart this week, and walking through to that wisdom there. That purity. In the Rider-Waite, the Death card, the figure of death isn't interested in money or youth, or pretty much like the coronavirus, pretty much like things that are here to really transform us. It isn't stopped by the things we believe it should be stopped by. It keeps moving forward, it keeps moving forward, and it does so waving a flag of a pure white rose. Purity. Okay, purity now of the heart, and letting that be the wisdom. If we truly want to release the ties. If we truly want to release the ties. So the other thing I'm offering are Salka sessions. Now, Salka is our undomesticated self, our wild inner light. And I mention it in this video because with the Leo full moon, we often judge our behaviors, we often judge our emotions, we often judge our animalistic self. And we're going to feel that. The potential to feel that is very much present this week. It is about opening that raw, that connection, that light, that speaking our truth, not always to the outside environment, but to ourselves. And we do that by feeling the emotions, and we let them guide us as the Ace of Cups vessel that we are, for the emotional intelligence that they bring, like the dragonfly, the water and the air. So I'm offering sessions, Salka sessions, where we will look at your soul. We will look at your soul. We will look at your undomesticated Salka, your light self, and see how aligned you are and what steps you can physically take to help you become more in tune with your whether you want to call it purpose, healing, your threefold flame, your divine self and source. So if that interests you, there are links in the comments. If anything else that I've spoken about interests you or you want to contact me, please do. My dog is shaking his tag, really shaking up his identity, and that feels really perfect to end this video on. It's time to look at who we are, to really shake up our identity, to expand that vision now and go on the ultimate quest to find yourself. Beautiful. Have a wonderful week. Take care. Bye.